We're back on the air. My name is Jeffrey Davis. I'm the host of the show. And joining me as my co-host for this interview is our reporter on social and internet marketing, David Reski. Hi, David.
Hi, Jeffrey. Great to be here.
Thank you very much. You know our next guest much better than I do, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions for him, but I'll introduce him. It's Bill Herp from Linear Air. Hi, Bill.
Jeffrey, David, how you guys doing?
Linear Air. Are we going in a straight line?
It's the shortest distance between 2 points.
Oh, now I get it. Tell us about Linear Air.
Sure. Linear Air is a 10-year-old company that started to bring the technology of new aircraft to a much broader number of people, because that technology has brought the cost of flying in a private plane down to the level at which it's justifiable versus driving and versus the airlines on a lot of regional trips. And we started flying these technically advanced airplanes in 2004, and in 2013 took the technology we created to run our business and created a digital marketplace, an online marketplace for air taxi operators. And now we've got over 60 aircraft in our marketplace, a couple dozen operators. We're connected to Kayak and Hipmunk as internet travel search sites to then sell these air taxi aircraft to folks who need to get around on a regional basis and are frustrated with the airlines. They don't want to drive.
That's easy to do.
Yeah, that's a good tailwind for us right now in the marketplace.
For the consumer of your services, is it only for the corporate and for the rich, or is it changing?
Well, that's sort of the common perception of private air travel or charter. You know, you got Justin Bieber, you've got, you know, rock and roll, and, you know,
David
and
Reski.
CEOs, high-end CEOs.
The
exactly.
high-end, the big rollers.
That's right.
Wouldn't that be nice?
And certainly there that represents the majority of private air travel. It's about a $6 billion segment of the U.S. domestic air travel market. But the public airline market is about $120 billion, so it's substantially more. And what we've seen over the course of the last decade is the introduction of technology into smaller and smaller and less expensive aircraft that allow us to bring the cost of flying a private airplane on a trip from New York to Ithaca, New York, or Bedford, just right outside Boston, to Syracuse, New York, or Washington, D.C. area to West Virginia. These sorts of trips that end up being a couple $1,000s, which is within the reach of a much larger audience of people.
What about a family trip, 4 or 5 people getting on a plane, going to Florida, let's say? Mm-hmm. Is it cost effective at all, or is it getting closer?
Yeah, well, so going to Florida is a bit of a long distance trip, and so therefore would probably still be up in the level where it would be considered sort of out of reach for most people. It's really the regional trips that are, say, 500-600 miles that are hard to get to.
So you're not taking
otherwise.
me to Venice Beach in California?
No, not from Boston. We could take you there from Las Vegas, or we could, or whatever.
Okay.
But
it's a commuter kind of thing.
It is indeed, and in addition to the sort of the stories about bad airline service that everyone has, because of the economics of the airline business, airlines have been cutting service to regional markets. So you can't get there from here is a phrase we hear a lot, and so flying 2 or 3 or 4 people in a small technically advanced plane for a couple $1,000s becomes a real alternative.
Bill, if somebody wants to connect with you and Linear Air, how would they find you?
The website is www.linearair.com. That's probably the best way to get in touch with us, and we have people who are standing by to help with chat sessions, and we have email addresses and telephone numbers on the website as well, so happy to provide that information to anyone who has an interest about what air taxi is.